Joe Rogan is once again under fire this morning, this time after a compilation video of the podcaster repeatedly using the N-word made the rounds online. Since then, Spotify has removed nearly 70 episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience.
Spotify's CEO sent a letter Sunday apologizing to employees, but also saying he did not believe silencing Rogan is the answer. This newest controversy comes just after Rogan was widely criticized for spreading COVID misinformation on his show.
Joining us now with more is NBC News technology correspondent Jake Ward. Jake, good to have you with us. Let's start with this new video. After it surfaced, Spotify removed 70 episodes, which they say Rogan requested, but clearly not a one-time incident. What more do we know about this video, and how has Rogan responded?
Well, as you say, Joe, there is this vast compilation, it turns out, of Joe Rogan using this racial term, and he then on Saturday put out some comments of his own in a video trying to both defend himself and also explain some of that use. Here's how he described it. Have a listen.
I do hope that this can be a teachable moment for anybody that doesn't realize how offensive that word can be coming out of a white person's mouth, in context or out of context. My sincere and humble apologies.
He says here in this video that he never intended to use that word in a racist way, but that he understands now that white people should not be using a word like that. Notable also here the number, right? We're talking about 70 episodes in which that happened, all of that leading to this apology on Saturday.
And now, Jake, we mentioned this at the top, but that video, those episodes aren't Joe Rogan's only problems right now. He's also been widely criticized for spreading misinformation about COVID vaccines. We've seen major artists like Joni Mitchell and Neil Young pull their music from Spotify because of it being on the same platform as this podcast. Now, Rogan has said he wasn't trying to promote misinformation. So tell us what the latest Spotify response says about those issues.
Well, this is such a high-profile problem for Spotify, which has put so much of its business model on expanding into podcasting. On Sunday, the CEO of Spotify sent out a letter that a spokesperson from the company provided to NBC News. And in it, he told employees, while I strongly condemn what Joe has said, and I agree with his decision to remove past episodes from our platform, I realize some will want more, and I want to make one point very clear. I do not believe that silencing Joe is the answer. This, as the company tries to figure out its strategy, considering that it blew $100 million on creating an exclusive relationship with this podcast, you guys.
Yeah, and Jake, because this is a Spotify exclusive, it's also one of the biggest podcasts for the company. The company's taking some heat for how they've handled the COVID misinformation. Now, the CEO insists Spotify is just a platform, not Rogan's publisher. Why is that distinction so important to them?
It's a very big deal for all tech companies to be able to say we are just a neutral platform on which artists express themselves. That absolves companies like Spotify, in theory, of responsibility for this. But Daniel Ek, the CEO of Spotify, in his letter essentially says to employees, I understand that that is confusing considering that we spent $100 million creating an exclusive relationship with Joe Rogan. The fact that that is the case does suggest that this is far more a publishing relationship than a platform relationship, and that therefore begs the question, what responsibility does this company and all companies have for putting content like this up? That's really the question that is in front of this company right now, you guys.
All right. Jake Ward, Jake, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.